Go ahead and do it. And the red light is on.
Oh,
And we're gonna get to it.
red light special.
No, ain't no red light specials up in here now.
Oh,
None of that.
okay.
We we got a special guest, as y'all can see. We'll get to that as we go through our intros and go through all our other shenanigans that we do before we get to the real meat and potatoes of the conversation of why we came together tonight.
Meat and potatoes.
Meat and potatoes.
Sound good. I'm kind of hungry.
Can you eat meat and potatoes?
Depending on what kind of meat it is.
I'm about to break this damn bell over here.
You walk right into that one again.
Or backed into it.
Hey, however you decide to chow down.
I can't stand y'all.
Yes, you can, because if you couldn't, you wouldn't be here every week. On Tuesdays at 8 p.m.
Well,
on YouTube and Facebook.
okay. At what time?
Shit, I don't know.
8 p.m. Eastern Time.
Oh, really?
I mean,
We
I'm
going
saying,
there?
I'm just
Are
saying.
we going there?
I'm just saying.
You know I have things to do.
They gonna think
You know
got
what
like-
You know what I do before I get here. So
I don't be there, so I don't know.
you do know because I tell you what I do.
See, this is how
You
we
know.
go. This gets crazy.
I have a
Sound like
fitness class before my podcast.
Oh,
So
I get
I have to
animated, too,
run in the house,
but it's not just
jump in the shower, and right back out the door to come to the podcast.
So you wash?
Brent? Well, I heard none of that.
You ain't heard none of that, but I heard everything. And watch. So you got to be focused and paying attention and aware of your surroundings. That's what they call being vigilant. You know what I'm saying? You don't know that. Vigilant. They taught us that. But go ahead.
They taught us that at St. John's.
They ain't taught y'all how to win no championships. None.
What?
No championship.
That's a
Okay,
lie.
badminton don't count, tennis don't count. You know what I'm saying? But
Basketball
Wilson High School, don't do that. Don't do that. Oh shit.
Oh, come on, Herman.
What, ping pong?
Thank you. That's why I said basketball.
Yeah, whatever. It don't matter.
Do
High
not
School.
come for us.
Y'all got a license tag? I didn't think so. If you ain't got no license tag, you don't exist.
Oh.
I was just thinking, if you don't have a license tag in 2024, your school does not exist. Okay, we quiet. I'm listening. Go ahead.
Anybody can get a tag made.
Really? I'm talking about from the DMV.
Yes.
Shit. Yeah, you showed me a St. John tag. State certified. What's up, Jason? State, Rodney. We in here. Let's go. Miss
Hello.
Darlene.
Hi, Tangy T family. I'm your host, Veronica. Welcome back. Yes, back on this Tangy Tuesday, and yes, my voice is gone yet again. But yeah, I'm feeling much better. My sinuses has been kicking my butt all weekend, but yeah, I'm back.
No medicine ball?
No medicine ball. I did Flonase, and I've been taking Advil cold and sinus. So
do that COVID test first.
yes, 3 times.
You seen he lead to the side?
3
He
times.
lead to the side. COVID test.
3 times.
Fit right in with us, brother.
Yes.
Lead to the
The
side.
first time I went to the ER, the urgent care, it was my sinuses. So this time I didn't go. Like I took tests, 3 of them, and they all came back negative. So
So what if you would have been positive then what?
I wouldn't have been here.
Oh,
I'm not about that life. Like
I am.
I'm not the one.
I am.
I know you are, because you're slack.
Yeah,
I'm not
the
the
fuck?
one. If I'm
I ain't sick.
if I'm sick, I'm not gonna be around people. I'm not gonna do that
I ain't
because
on
I
that
wouldn't
side of the
want
world.
to. Huh? I wouldn't want to do that to anyone else. Like I wouldn't want no one to do that to me. If you know you're sick, don't come around me. Don't.
Yea, though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil.
That's true.
Yeah, but you ain't got to run to that valley either.
Damn right.
You
Hell
don't have
yeah.
to
You gotta
run
use
to the
common
valley.
sense. Damn right.
You saying use common sense, but I'm gonna tell you something. I'm gonna live my life.
Yeah.
And if you in my circle, then you accept everything that I have.
I ain't in your circle.
I understand that, so you ain't got to worry about getting
Yeah,
sick.
I ain't worried about it. That's right. Because it comes with some self responsibility. But let's go. Let's introduce the
Hey,
team.
who are
Let's
you
go.
tonight?
I am the Wilson High School alumni, Victor White.
Victor White.
Yeah,
I thought you was gonna say you Wilson mascot.
no.
Ooh, little shots being fired.
Well, he took it as shots being fired, but I understand what you mean.
Yeah, you know, Tiger.
We good.
Well,
Let's go.
Fatine, all the way from WBLS radio station New York, is back with us.
What's happening? What's up? Let's
And we do have a guest in the building tonight.
Oh yeah,
And yeah, we're gonna be talking with
Mr. Brennan D. Graham. He currently serves as the president and CEO of Growing Home Southeast, where he was responsible for a continuum of services including all levels of foster care, community-based mental health, behavioral health services, transitional housing, and family crisis prevention services throughout South Carolina. He has enjoyed human services career that spans nearly 30 years, serving at-risk youth and families in the area of homelessness, mental health, behavioral health, substance abuse, and developmental disabilities. Prior to his current role, Brendan served as executive director of the Relatives Incorporated in Charlotte, North Carolina for 12 years. He worked to build an organization's foundation as a shelter for runaway and homeless youth to create a continuum of services for more than 4,000 children and families each year. Brendan has held key positions as Business Relation Executive Director of Quality Assurance, Residential Service Director, and various youth direct service roles. Brendan currently serves as the board chair for the National Network for Youth and as a board member for the Family Focused Treatment Association, the Palmetto Association for Children and Families, and the Midlands Area Consortium for the Homeless. Brennan holds a Master's of Business Administration degree and a Master's of Health Administration degree from Pfeiffer University, as well as a Bachelor of Arts degree in Political Science from Winthrop University. So, everybody, please welcome Mr. Brennan Graham.
All right. Thank you. You mentioned high schools, Northwestern High School, Rock Hill, South Carolina.
Man, cut it. Okay, bro.
Come on now,
And
come
we
on.
do have a
What do
tag.
you mean, come on?
We do have tags.
Yeah.
Oh, wait a minute. No, you don't. Because if you go to the South Carolina DMV, there's one high school that has a state certified tag, and that's Wilson.
We're going to have to double check that.
You know, you can check it now.
we.
But Wilson High School.
Just look up the articles, Football Town, USA.
I mean, I understand Jadavion went to y'all. Didn't he go to Northwestern?
He went to South Point.
Oh, okay. I thought y'all had real talent.
Oh, really? See
Real
how,
talent.
I hear you.
see how you do, I guess?
We can count out 6 of them currently.
I know you can. I mean, yeah, don't get me wrong. Upper state, hey, we can't do nothing with the upper state when it come to shit, talent. But I'll give you that.
I tell you, I love it. I love this energy. So tonight, I'm gonna jump in here real quick. So tonight, in the first hour, we're gonna get into a serious topic that's very important, and a lot of folks may or may not know this. I don't need my glasses to read. So, National Foster Care Awareness Month, which is observed in the month of May, aims to acknowledge and celebrate the contributions of foster parents, family members, volunteers, mentors, policymakers, and child welfare professionals. That's the National Foster Care. The South Carolina Department of Social Service, also known as SCDSS, recognizes Foster Care Awareness Month by highlighting the essential roles of foster parents, caseworkers, and community partners in supporting children in foster care. So let's put out a couple of statistics and then we'll jump in here. So on the foster care statistics, the national statistics, over 400,000 children are in foster care in the United States at any given time. The average age of children in foster care is around 8 years old. Approximately 50% of children in foster care are reunited with their families, and about 25% are adopted, often by their foster parents or relatives. The remaining children may age out of the system, which we'll get into, without a permanent family, facing higher risk of homelessness, unemployment, and other challenges. Then I took a breakdown in South Carolina. South Carolina, in the recent data, there's approximately 4,000 children in foster care in South Carolina. The state sees an average of 1,500 children enter foster care each year. Around 1,200 children in South Carolina are waiting for adoptive families. Then I broke it down even a little further. Florence and Darlington region statistics, which they don't really put it in numbers specifically, but what they say, Florence and Darlington counties collectively have hundreds of children in foster care. These regions, like much of the state, face challenges in recruiting and retaining foster parents, which is very critical in this here because we need the parents and those kind of guardians to honestly adopt or bring these children in to give them a safe environment because the system, the challenge is there. And there's a particular need for foster homes that can accommodate siblings and provide specialized care for children with emotional and behavior needs. So those are some of the statistics and background of dealing with Foster Care Awareness Month, and that's why you are here, Brother Brennan, to deal with this. So I'll open it up, and then my our team is going to jump on in here. Talk a little bit about some of these challenges that, as you work in this field, and the importance of May, even though May is Foster Care Awareness Month, this is something that we need to concentrate on 12 months of the year.
Year round, yeah. Well, you hit the nail on the head. One of the biggest challenges we're having right now is recruiting families. South Carolina, nearly 4,000 in care, but we have so many other kids right now who have nowhere to go.
Right.
So we need families, we need parents who are willing to step in and say, I will work to help grow and love and take care of these young children, children with mental health and behavioral health needs. These kids are experiencing trauma, and sometimes it's not always the prettiest picture when you have a kid moving into your home. But we need parents who can serve as what we like to call professional parents, where they can be there to work with our staff to find better strategies to support these children with the ultimate goal of them, if they can, go back to their biological homes. This is not a long-term service. It's not where we're going to be the parents for life. We want them to get what they need and support them through this process so they can be in a more natural environment if it's possible.
I've known some foster care parents that, and I don't want to say they've done it for a check, but I've seen that some foster care parents may not be well equipped to take care of challenging children. I'm not saying that, all children don't bring a challenge to the table, but those that have behavior issues, to me, do the foster care system offer any kind of parental training for these parents that are bringing these children into their house, as you said, on a temporary basis?
Yeah. Well, foster parents have to go through a lot of hours of training before they even get licensed. And then we have ongoing training, ongoing support. We have a really good staff. Our staff members go in and work with the parents to provide different skills, techniques. We use a model called Together Facing the Challenge. And it's an evidence-based model that is designed to really support the families in helping raise these children. And it's a model that has data that shows that it works. And so we work to train the parents over and over again. But you mentioned something before about a lot of folks do it just for a check.
I did. Mm-hmm.
And as a CEO of an organization like this, I don't care. If you're here for a check, still do a good job. Just do a good job. If that's all you want, do a good job, because your job is to at least show that you care about these kids, take care of them, do what you can, and give them the best, safest environment that they can. when I started in this field, and he was mentioning 30 years ago, I needed a job.
That's when you had the afro, right?
Yeah, well, I did. I had a box, but I needed a job, and I wasn't coming in to 30 years later do what I'm doing now, but I did a good job, and I enjoyed it after a while. So even with parents, they're kind of scared and worried, or they just need a check. Well, if this is your motivation, when you get in, just know here are the rules, here are the expectations, and you're dealing with people's lives. These are kids. That you're here to mold and help grow these kids. But if your first motivation is a check, that's fine. But grow into it and build up and use what we can help you with to be successful for these kids.
So how do, and I don't know if you all asked this question or not because I stepped out because I was coughing, but how do you all go about, I can't, Brandon, don't even. How do you go about, because I know you have to be careful what houses you're placing these kids in. Like, are you all doing background checks and all this with the families before you let the children go to their homes?
It's a really extensive process. Background checks, financial checks. We need to know that you can support children in your home without the stipend that we give too. We want to make sure that you have the financial means to do that. We want to make sure that the home is safe. Fire inspector has to come in, fire marshal comes in. We have to have integrated smoke alarms, all kinds of things to make sure it is a very safe environment for children. And then after that, we want to give you the training. We talk with you, want to make sure this is the right thing for you. Hopefully, if we have the ability, we'll have some staff to walk you around and show you different environments. Right now we're in a crisis, so a lot of times we don't have that opportunity, but we want to give people as many chances as they can to say, maybe not yet. Because once we get kids in your house, they need you. And we don't have time for you to back out of it. And we don't want to go through this whole process, and this is what happens a lot of times. We go through this long process to get a home licensed, and then they don't take any kids. And so we've spent time, we've spent money, we've spent energy, and we've tried our best to get the best families we can, and then we have kids who need help. Every Friday, DSS sends us what they call an SOS list. These are kids who would potentially be sleeping in the DSS office if somebody doesn't take them this weekend. And oftentimes they still have to sleep in the office because every organization doesn't have a family that can take the kids. And so, it's a critical time right now. There's a lot of kids who need a place to go.
Yeah. And oftentimes, like, people are always looking for the smaller kids, like the teenagers. They have, and going off of like movies and TV shows that we see, like it's always like the older kids that have a tough time getting into homes. Is that fact?
That's it. Yeah, that's fact. A lot of times people want the sweet babies.
Yeah.
And there's lots of sweet babies who need a place to sleep, and they need you, and they need someone to love them. But the biggest crisis we have right now is for teenagers, teenagers with behavioral issues, mental health challenges. Sometimes teenagers who just experience serious trauma, and some behaviors come out. LGBTQ teenagers. We need families that will take these kids because everybody needs a place.
Yeah.
And we do different levels of care. So a lot of the community most times thinks about regular foster care. There's abuse in the home. There's some type of situation. DSS comes in, removes the kids, and then they put them in a foster home. A lot of times, those are children who don't have major behavioral issues. Sometimes they do, but oftentimes they don't. But then there's therapeutic foster care. And so that's that child care along with treatment, mental health, behavioral health treatment. And so our staff can come in and provide supports and services for the children. Our parents can give them a safe, loving environment. But these are the tough kids. These are the ones that, if it wasn't for a foster home, they might be in a group home. Or they could be in some other type of facility that will give them the support and make sure that they and the community may stay safe.
Right.
So these are tough kids. And everybody doesn't want them, but we try to train and develop and prepare people to be ready to, you might get a hole punched in your wall, but it's okay. We'll help you get it patched up.
Yeah.
It's fine.
I got a question for you. Before y'all got into it, I just want to say shouts out to all the 2024 graduates
Yes.
that graduated this.
Congratulations.
Congratulations to everybody. Going to foster care, like you talked about, What happens after the child turns, let's say, 18, and the parent? I'll just ask you, what happens when the child turns 18?
Age out.
That was my next question too. When they get
So, thankfully, South Carolina has gone to um, foster care until they're 21.
Okay.
It's across the country, but a lot of states took a little time to get there. So when they're 18, they can sign themselves out if they want to. Um, and what I saw for years was, kids coming out of care, 18. I'm tired of people telling me what to do. I'm tired of this, all the system stuff. And so they sign out and they're lost. And so thankfully, it's not a major process for them to get back into care. I'm lost. I don't know what I'm going to do. I need help. We're still here to help you. And we have supports that can help the children as they get older. We, as an organization, have services for transition age youth. So as they're getting older, we have an apartment complex for kids who've aged out of care. We've got supports that can be there and available for them to make sure, even when they turn 21, they're not left alone.
So one thing I will say, foster care is never really, I never really thought about it. But when I went into the service, I didn't realize it was a shit ton of foster kids in the military. And when I graduated, platoon 1104, United States Marine Corps, Delta Company, it was about 5 kids just in my platoon of 76 that were former foster. I mean everybody from the east side, but I'll never forget this one guy named Jesse Absher, and he used to take food. I mean, of course, all of us, they would starve the shit out of us there anyway. But to watch him stuff his cargo pockets with food out of the trash can at the child hall, me being 18, the shit didn't resonate with me. But the older I got, I realized what he was doing because maybe whatever his situation was, that was his first instinct to do to find something to eat. But yeah, thank you for what you do. It is a much needed
Like
profession.
Chick-fil-A, it's my pleasure, man.
Yeah.
I love doing it.
But the older I get, the more I understand, going into the world that there are certain things that I may not have experienced, but this is something that is needed in the world.
Exactly. I'm gonna let's bring this kind of like this. There's a gamut of reasons why children are placed in foster care, and I don't want to sit here and try to list all these things. But what I do want to do is talk a little bit about what you do see and some of the reasons, but also working with other agencies because you got to realize there's different reasons. Like my cousin, she's one of those agencies that roll up, get that call, and got to roll up and pull a child out the house. So there's numerous reasons why children are in foster care. Some are abandoned, this, that, and the other. But also talk about your agency working along with other agencies because remember, these kids that are going into foster care, they need support not only from your agency, but from other areas that they're coming from. So can you talk a little bit about that?
Yeah. So our agency, we try to develop a continuum of services so kids don't have to bounce around from agency to agency. But we also know we can't do it by ourselves. Right. So, we have therapy services. We have behavior modification services. We've got family services where we'll go out to the community and work with families. But we also know that there's still some gaps. When we go to the families, we go to the communities where we're trying to prevent situations that will lead to foster care, we know that we can't solve all those problems, so we'll connect with some of our other partners. Refer them to another agency for some type of resource. It could be something about food. It could be support with utilities. It could be anything that would keep the crisis in the home down, minimize the crisis. We do family classes called Strengthening Families Program. It's an evidence-based model. We do that in several areas around the state, again, to help prevent the crises that will lead to kids being taken out of their home. And then we partner with other organizations to do that. We do these in schools, go to churches, we go to different community organizations. And, the model is open for everybody just to provide support and services to our whole community to first make sure kids are safe when they're at home, and if they have to be moved out of their home, make sure they are stable and have the pathway to success that they're going to need.
real quick, because I know my team is chomping at the bit. You know, I see that sometimes folks or families need resources, and they don't receive the resources until it's too late, and now the children has to come out the house. Is there any other agencies that help these families that are starting to feel a crisis coming on or dealing with some challenges that they can get support before it gets to DEFCON 10 and now the family is broken up and these children are in foster care?
Yeah, so there is a number with United Way, statewide number 211. Families can call 211, and they have a list of all the different agencies that can support people's various needs. They can also, get on Google and call agencies like ours, call Growing Home Southeast. If we don't have the solution or can't provide the service right then, we can refer them to some of the other organizations. Each of the agencies, we're separate companies, so we're in business, so it's kind of a competition, but we're serving children and families, so it's okay. We can share the resources, provide support each other, because the ultimate goal is making sure that our children and our families have what they need so they can stay safe.
So it is, like Fatine said earlier, may excuse me.
You sure you took that test?
Don't.
It is made Foster Care Awareness
Yes,
Week. I got you.
Foster Care
Awareness Week month.
month is May. So what what exactly does that mean? What are you all focus on during the month of May?
For us, first of all, we want people to understand the need for safe, loving homes for kids. We want to make sure people understand that every child you see out in the community may not have the perfect situation. And so when we call on you and say we need parents, we need volunteers, we need people to come in and help support the work we do, we want to make sure they understand it, understand what's going on with that. So be aware of the needs and be aware of the how they can be, families, people, you all can be resources for children and ensure that they have that safe, loving environment.
Now, how do you all find the families, or do families find you all? Like, do they call
It's a
the
little bit of both.
office and look for a
We
kid?
do different events. We have a foster parent recruitment a plan that we try to implement every year. We go to different events, churches, community organizations. If there's something happening in your communities, we'll try to be there. We'll set up a table, talk to folks. What we learned, though, is the best way to recruit foster parents is word of mouth, and it's word of mouth from other foster parents. And so one of the things that we offer is a referral bonus for our foster parents. If you refer somebody, then we'll give you a few dollars and decent amount.
What's
And
a few though?
I believe you asked me about. I can't remember. I think it's 500 to 500 for the referral, and then after they take a child, after they go through the licensing process, and you have a child in your home for a period of time, we do another 500. I believe it is. And I don't want to. I know it's no less than that, but it may be more.
That's just by, I'm sorry, 15, just by referring someone, or you have to be a foster care parent and you referring someone else?
Yeah, it's not for everybody in the community. Just
I'm just trying
we
to
are
make sure because
nonprofit.
I
We
know
just-
people.
So what
But if
happened?
you know people, send them our way, and when they become foster parents, they get licensed. Then we can talk to you and see.
So is it the size of the house, or is it how does it factor in, like how many kids can go in one home? Is it like the daycare facility where you have so many kids per parent?
Well, there are limits. The state sets limits, but then depending on the size of your house, you can't put. Everybody has to have their own bed.
That's true.
Every kid has to have their own bed, and I believe we can have two to a room. And so you're asking me some details that I probably should know, but I don't know specifically. But I believe it's two per room, and so depending on the number of rooms you have in your home, what we try to do is license our families for the maximum amount that they can have in their home.
Mm-hmm.
They may say, you know what, I only want to take 2 kids, no matter what. I could take 4, but I only want to take 2.
Yeah.
And that's fine. But there might be a situation where we have a sibling group. You have 2 kids coming, and you got 4 beds here. You already said 2, but we're not going to break these kids up, are we?
Yeah.
It happens. They get broken up, and they go
You to my families, right?
families, children. So you have 2
Sister,
kids.
brother.
They get broken up, and we try our best to take them, at least if we can't do it in the same house, within the same agency, so we can facilitate the visits with the siblings. But oftentimes you have Johnny lives here, and then Susie's staying at a house with another agency. We try our best to do the partnership to still facilitate that, but it gets more complicated. So we can have the families, the children together. I mean, you're going through trauma already. Now you got to
Right.
lose your brother and
Yeah.
sister who
The
you sit and
only
cry with
one
every
that-
night. And now
right.
you
So
break
can
up.
kids factor in who they do not do, who they want to go with and who they don't want to go with? Case in point, there's a same sex couple. Let's just say there's a same sex couple out here that wants to adopt a child. I mean, that child say they ain't want to go because they here. Will you take that child? Um, I guess opinion in consideration,
Mm.
or they family. Because if my child was in foster care, I mean, I must be messed up or whatever. But I don't want my child in the same sex home. That's just the reality of it. I don't.
So in a situation about your own child,
Hmm.
that's probably more of a legal matter, and the judge is going to decide what happens. But if the child doesn't want to be, just like us, if we don't want to be there, we ain't going to act right. We ain't going to stay. And so we have to make sure that it's a safe environment for everybody, the children and for the parents. Our ultimate goal first is to find families that will take the kids. And we'll talk about some of the things that may have happened with the children in the past and make sure that the families understand that we can support them through whatever potential problems they may have. And then we'll talk to the kids, this is where you're going. But the reality is, if a family is available, we at least try to give it a shot. And then we work with the kids and the family. Our workers work with the kids. They talk with them and help them understand where they're going so they can be comfortable. We try to give it a shot. We want to do what we can all the time to make sure placement works. And if it doesn't match, if it's just not a good match, it's not a good match. Right. For an adoption, hands down. I mean, if it doesn't, we do visits, and they do a lot of work to make sure it's a good match, because adoption is permanent. So now you can't just say, all right, no, I don't want to live here. This is your new family. Foster care is temporary, and so we want to make sure adoptions are secure.
But y'all do consider what the children want, though? Like Victor say, if they say they don't want to be there, do y'all take that in consideration?
We always take it into consideration. Sometimes it's more difficult to change that because, like I said, every Friday we get a list, and there's at least 40 names on there of kids who have nowhere to go.
Every Friday?
No, every Friday,
SOS.
nowhere to go. It's the SOS list, and our agency plus all the other foster care agencies in the state get this list, and we're just trying to find safe places for these kids. And so, if a place is available, unless there's some significant reason why it would be unsafe, we want to at least give it a shot. And so we have to spend a lot of time talking with the kids about, well, it's either this place that you're not really sure about, or maybe you have to sleep in an office this weekend, or some place that you already know you don't want to be. And so, for the most part, that usually works out. And after the weekend, it may not last, or it's a situation that where let's try a few more days, and we'll talk with the parents, and everybody will hopefully get excited about staying long term.
This sounds good all on paper. And like Victor said, he commends you and your organization and all the other organizations that are doing this type of work out here. But let's talk about funding. Your funding is coming from the state, not the federal government. Right. Or is it both trickling down?
Well, it trickles from the feds to the states, but
right.
And the state has their budget.
All right, so let's talk about that, because we talked earlier before we started the broadcast. You did work previously in Charlotte. Now you're in South Carolina. State budgets are different, and we know that North Carolina budget versus South Carolina budget differs. How is the budget affecting your resources? Because all the things you're talking about are good, but do you have enough money? And what are the challenges? For instance, when you were in Charlotte, what were the resources compared to the money that you were being funded with compared to South Carolina? And how are the children affected in South Carolina, where their money may be less than in Charlotte or New York City, or vice versa?
All right, so to answer your question, there's never enough money.
Right.
Never enough. I don't want to go too deep into comparing the states because, I need these people to still give us more more money.
I understand,
So
but
I
I'm
don't
talking
wanna-
about
yeah. But, I
how
mean,
your
it's a
agency is
difference.
affected by
Yeah.
resources.
So the resources are just different. There's in the Charlotte Mecklenburg County area where I was, the systems are different. The state is broken up, but the counties set the contracts with the different organizations. They establish how much they're going to give for whatever the services that they want to contract for. There's a state rate for foster care, and it is higher than in South Carolina, much higher. So foster parents get reimbursed a certain amount, but then there's an administrative cost. We have to pay for our staff. We have to pay for the recruitment efforts. We have to pay for the licensure process. We have to pay for all of these pieces that go into running a foster care agency. And so that rate it leaves a little more to be desired. And we're working to um, really advocate to push that rate up because the more we can do as agencies, the more services we can provide for our families. One of the things I like to tell my staff is we have to make sure our families understand that we're going to be there for them. What I saw in North Carolina was there were funds in some pockets, and we also had a lot more charitable dollars that were available. So if a family needed something right now, we could do it. And we can figure out how to get reimbursed later. And that's a little less here in South Carolina. So that's organization specific too. A lot of agencies are able to do more fundraising than others, and they're just set up that way. So there's charitable dollars, but state funded or system funded services and supports, they're limited. So we have to make do. We want to do whatever we can to um, connect our families to everything that they might need, not just the kids who are in care, but those families who might need us before the kids get taken away from their homes and getting put in care.
Got it. Got it. Good. I don't have a question. I have a comment, but good. E.G. wrote a comment. You want me to get to it?
Yeah, that's where I was going.
Go.
Because I responded back to her and I said that Brendan did touch up on this, but we can backtrack right quick. So she asked a question. She says, how do foster care agencies help kids who age out of the system? What's the safety net to help them adjust into adulting?
All agencies don't do it the same way, but as a part of our process and our responsibility, as they're aging out, we know, everybody's going to turn 18, 21 at some point. So we do a lot of work to prepare them and prepare their families. So transitional living skills, financial management, helping them find jobs, helping them to understand how to survive as independent adults. Our agency also has an apartment complex for transition age youth. So when they age out, we have potential resources for them to get additional supports. They'll have a place to live so they can just take a breath. I don't have to worry about where I'm going to sleep tonight.
Mm-hmm.
But then we provide other services and supports, connecting them to if they still need therapy, we'll provide therapy. If they need medication management, if they need to get a job, we need to help them not just get a job, understand how to develop a career. Financial planning, financial management. So really on the fast track though, and we know everybody's not going to be perfect and millionaires when they leave, but at least they have a strong foundation to do things on their own, or at least access the supports that they need as they become successfully independent adults.
Awesome. That's now when you say an apartment complex, are you talking about like you all had an apartment complex built, or you're at someone else apartment complex that y'all rent out for them?
We had it built.
Or y'all
We
had
had
it
it
built?
built
That's awesome.
2008. Now it was before my time. They did a lot of work,
Yeah.
and I was really inspired when I learned about this apartment complex when I was working in Charlotte. A group of folks came up and visited Growing Home Southeast. We visited the apartment complex, and we went back to Charlotte and started a program very similar to what I saw here. So it was kind of funny because I never thought I'd be back here at Growing Home Southeast
Yeah.
as the CEO. I'd never heard of it before and never really talked about it afterwards. And so it was just, maybe this is where I was supposed to be.
That's awesome. So, is there like a time limit where the kids can stay at the apartment complex?
The model we use is 12 to 18 months. Some stay longer, some stay less. so they have to pay rent. We work with them to get employment, so they pay a portion of their income as rent. We work with them to get jobs, help them to get in school if that's their goal. We work with them to just really get involved in the community. When they meet their goals and they're ready to move on, then we do our best to make sure that they're prepared and still they still have our phone number. They can call back and get whatever support they might need. But we want to make sure they're ready when it's time to leave.
Yeah, like y'all just don't push them out the door. Like say 6 months, 12 months come and they still not
No,
together.
no, no. We had somebody a few years ago. We did have to push him out. He was doing so well. He was making about as much as some of the staff. He had a great job and he was doing well, but he had some really cheap rent. It's like,
Yeah, so
like, look, man, it's time. You're
yeah,
doing fine now. You'll be all right.
yeah.
So, we did have we had a
Try to
conversation.
lead
It's time to
on.
go now, buddy. You
Yeah.
did it.
But I think as a foster parent, you need to treat them like a parent would.
Ye-
You know, just like getting out there, like you said, hey, buddy, it's time for you to lead the nest. You're making good money. Woo, 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 woo. That's what I think a parent would do. The same thing.
Mhm.
So I commend y'all for pushing his ass out. Um, it's tough love.
Yeah.
We at an age now that everybody's so damn soft. But as a foster parent, you are taking the place of what a real parent would do. So I
I just
get
want you to know, we like to call it a graduation.
graduation. So
We don't just push his ass out.
okay,
And remember, you're
Basically.
trying to go from foster care to hopefully adoption.
Yeah.
That's what you're trying to do.
Or on your life on your own
Exactly.
as independent adults.
Exactly.
so I know y'all kind of talked about some people say they can't handle you know behavioral children, but that's the same thing with biological kids. Everybody's have challenges, but I commend anybody who can say, you know what, I can't deal with this here versus the other alternative options.
Yeah.
So, I commend you for what you do, everybody in your field. I feel like that's not a cop out to put your child in foster care because, like you said, there's alternative options. I'd rather somebody put their child in foster care than do something ridiculous that now you affecting everybody's life by your emotions. You can't handle your emotions.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So when this list come out, I'm sorry for team. When this list come out on Fridays, that you all get every Friday. So say if 40 names are on that list. These are 40 kids that need a home, like ASAP, like that weekend, correct?
Correct.
So, and I may have missed this because I'm trying to watch comments, I'm trying to listen, I'm trying to watch the screen, all of that. So you may have answered this already. But say out of those 40, you could only place 20 that night. Just saying. What happened to these other 20? Like they have to stay at
They
the
may. They may have to stay at the office.
at the office.
And so DSS has done. They've actually done a really good job. First, acknowledging that they need help, and they need agencies like ours to support the children. And so we've had lots of meetings and just different opportunities to come together to figure out how we as child placing agencies, foster care agencies, can support these kids. DSS works with us if the families need an additional something, some money for childcare, and that would be the only thing that would keep them from taking the kid. We'll find some ways to do that. If there's an additional need for staff to come in to support the family while because of a severe behavior, they'll do that. So we're trying to do whatever is necessary to support these kids, and I think every weekend is pretty successful. I mean, there's some times when we still have some who can't get placed, and a lot of times you get the same names every week, and it's sad to see, but we are doing a lot better than before, and I believe we got a long ways to go, but we're on the right track.
Right. Rodney D says you can't really push them all of them out because of the level of diagnosis and congenitive level. And I kind of piggyback off of that is in a sense of what you talked about trauma. Some of these kids are coming out of traumatic situations, so they have trauma. And I know that you talked about the resources that your organization has. But when they go into foster care and they have to go to school Do you work hand in hand, or you just leave it to the parents, or you work hand in hand with not only the foster care parents, but the school ahead of it? You understand, to say, hey, we have a child in foster care that is coming out of a traumatic situation, and we want to flag it, meaning that we want to keep eyeball it, just in case we see something that you are aware of it, and that we have a special kind of treatment for them going forward, dealing with, let's say they have resources there. How do you work with that, with the school system and things like that?
It really depends on the situation. A lot of our kids have already been in the system for years. They already have an IEP. They have, maybe a
What's IEP? So don't know.
Individualized education plan is for children who may have some maybe a mental health or behavioral health need. In this situation, there are other reasons for an IEP as well, but for this situation, and so there are already systems in place to support them. What we do is work with our families, our foster parents, to make sure that they're prepared to advocate just like a parent would. And if they're not, we're right there beside them to support them.
Yes.
We work with the schools. We'll advocate wherever we need to advocate. But we also have some really good foster parents who say, "Don't worry about it, I got it. The baby's in my house. I'm taking care of him." And so they go and they'll fuss at the school. They'll do whatever they need to do to make sure the kids have what they need. A lot of times we don't have enough time to really, go and prepare anybody. It could be we get a call today, we need a placement tonight, and so a child comes from from Darlington to Rock Hill, and so moving across the state, and that's where they are tonight, and that could be their permanent place. It could be something temporary. We try our best to keep them in the same area. DSS does well to make sure when it's possible, they can stay in the same school or stay in the same community, because that's the best thing for them. But the reality is, wherever we can find a place for these kids initially, if there's a crisis, then we'll have to take that place.
So E.G. has another question, and this crossed my mind as well. What's the reason that some of the same kids end up on the list every Friday of being unable to place?
Usually difficult behaviors, and it goes back to the mental health and behavioral health needs. I'm a big believer that the majority of kids who are in foster care have experienced some level of trauma. I mean, you get taken out of your home from your family, regardless of what's going on in your home. That can be traumatic. And the first step that we have to do for these kids is find a safe place to sleep. We want to make sure we're addressing the behaviors and the mental health needs and all of that, but none of that matters if they don't have a place to sleep. And so we're trying our best to support the children quickly. For those who remain on that list over and over again, they may be receiving the treatment services right now, so we can help support those behaviors. But there's no magic pill to stop these behaviors. We have all types of behavioral interventions, and it's a process. It's like watching grass grow for some of our kids, and sometimes that grass never grows. These are the same children who may grow up to be adults who have mental health and behavioral health needs, and we do our best to support them. And it's tough. You have families who say, "No, I won't." A lot of our foster parents are getting old. I serve on a board for a national organization that does foster care services and connects agencies. And one of our biggest challenges is recruiting parents, and it's because parents are aging. And so we're getting these tough kids who are really, really strong, sneaky, and now you have a parent who's been fostering for 40 years, but now she's 75, 80 years old. It's tough, and people aren't serving the community the way they used to, where, when I was growing up, people just came to my grandmother's house. It was just bring them in. They don't do it now. A lot of folks volunteer, and they'll do things for a day. They'll help out.
But
And we need all of that.
But have you seen, and I think we might have touched upon this, but this is interesting. Have you seen, out of your experience, to see kids that were in foster care become responsible adults and then become foster care parents themselves, because not only they sympathize, they empathize, and they've walked through that. And they feel that I have a way of giving back, but I also understand what the needs that these foster children need.
Oh, yeah, we have a couple of parents like that within our organization. I was talking to one not too long ago, and she was, we were on the phone for at least an hour. She was just telling me how, she loves and cares for these kids, and she told me why. And so that's really great when you have somebody who understands it, They've been through it and they can relate to our kids. And when things do get hard in the house, they don't just throw their hands up and say, I'm
Yeah.
done. I remember when it was that hard for me,
Right.
and so they connect with the kids a lot better. Well, I don't know want to say a lot better, but they do it really well. And I've got I was telling you a little earlier, I got a friend who grew up in the foster care system. He's an executive director of an agency that works with runaway and homeless children here in South Carolina. So
Wow.
it's, if you can give back from your experiences, that's amazing.
Hmm. That was a great question for Team. Because that is good to hear that, the ones that have been in foster care and now grown, like they are, and that would make sense because they do understand, like that was once me. So now I have the opportunity where I can bring a foster child inside my home because someone gave me that same opportunity to come in their home. So that's awesome. But that must be like a hard job sometimes for you all because people are not like our grandmothers and back in the day where they was willing to take a kid and love them like their own. Now you have so much going on. You got to worry about this. You got to sleep with one eye open. You got this strange kid in your house, especially when you're talking about the teenagers. Like that's got to be a tough job for you all.
It's a tough job. The foster parents have it toughest. That I commend all of our foster parents. Even, we have families who will take a child and say, this isn't working for me. Well, at least you tried.
Yeah.
You're there to support our children, and it's a little more than you expected, a little more than you're ready for. But thank you for at least trying because I know lots of folks who wouldn't and just couldn't. Just seeing what these kids are going through, and then you're bringing that to your home, and your job then is to support them through it. And you, a lot of times, don't know how to do it either, but you're trying your best. Our kids have just experienced so much stuff that a lot of adults can't handle or wouldn't be able to handle.
Right.
I've seen some things that we were talking before the podcast started. Make your eyes start sweating. Anytime you hear it, it's just like I can't believe a human would do a child that way.
Right.
And that's the reality of our world. Sometimes we have to sweeten it up a little bit, so because some people may not even believe it. When you tell the stories that are so traumatic. But then also you want to make sure you don't scare the families away too. We want to tell them what's going on, tell them the reality, but also be very clear. Something may have happened when this child was 6 years old. They're 15 now. Nothing's happened since. And so, yes, in their paperwork, it says, they started a fire, but they were 6, and we don't know all the background on what happened when they were 6. They're 15, nothing's ever happened, really good kids, so it's okay. And if it does get scary for you, our staff members are there to support you. They're call them anytime. They'll come in. They'll do whatever they can to support and make sure it's a safe environment for the kids and families.
Well, we definitely appreciate you, Brandon, for taking the time out and sitting with us on this Tuesday for May is, if you're just joining us, May is National Foster Care Month, and we have Mr. Brandon here sitting with us. He is the CEO of, once again, Mr. Brandon.
Growing Home Southeast.
And where is this located?
We're based in Casey, right outside of Columbia, South Carolina, but we operate statewide.
Okay. And is there a number that parents could call, like if they would
Better be
like
prepared.
2-1.
We have
1-1.
Well, no, 211 is United Way.
Yeah, 2-1.
Calling us, so we have an 800 number that's on our website, growinghomese.org, or you can call our direct line to our office, 803-791-5513.
One more time, slower.
803-791-5513.
Thank you.
And shouts out to all of the foster care parents. I'm telling you because it takes a strong person.
It takes a village to raise these
Yeah,
children
to
out
bring
here.
a child into
and a
your
child.
home that you have no idea about nothing but the stuff that's on paper.
Right.
So it takes a very strong person to do that. So shouts out to all the foster care parents. out
We
there.
couldn't do it without them.
I feel like the best foster parents are probably the men because we taking these women into our homes
What?
with these behavioral problems and all these other. I ain't gonna get into
Brandon
it.
said, I'm
I can't
staying out of
co-sign on
that.
that one. I'm sorry.
I'm staying out of that one. You know, he just want to start something. That's all.
I basically, come back to me. I want to say this. You know, we didn't start off the show the way we normally do, but shouts out to again Darlington High School graduates, Hartsville High School graduates. There was a lot of graduations going on this weekend. We definitely didn't touch on that, but we don't want to, have our viewers not thinking that your child's graduation was not important to us. So we just want to go ahead and tell everybody congratulations.
Yes, congratulations to all the graduates out there.
Yeah, I just think, because I know we're going to switch gears, so I just want to make sure that we do this proper, handoff. Any last words for you before
Yes.
we go ahead and move on? Because I don't think what you do and what we get into, I don't think is a great mix. So, any final words before
don't
you
know,
leave, Brendan?
you
Yeah.
I just appreciate y'all giving me the platform to just tell everybody about foster care and the needs in foster care. I appreciate the questions and all the folks online. Just thank y'all for being interested in what we're doing. And if you know people who are interested in being foster parents, it's a challenge, but it's a rewarding challenge. And so please give us a call, growinghomese.org. And
Can a single parent, real quick, can a single
Absolutely.
parent be a foster care parent?
single parents, males, females.
That's what I want.
We need same-sex couples if they're interested, or couples who just want to take children who identify as LGBTQ. That is a major need as well, and South Carolina has its challenges on that end too. So if we can get some families who will take some of these kids and provide support for them, that'd be amazing.
Sounds good, man. I appreciate you. Thank you for coming
Thank you.
in this
Thank you
evening.
all. Yeah.
All right.
Yes, thank you so much, Brandon. If you
Y'all kicking
want,
me out.
you can stick around. We're definitely not kicking you out.
Depends on how hot you get.
We're definitely
Gotta
not
go back to
kicking
work
you out.
tomorrow.
This is
Try to warn you, brother. That's all I'm gonna tell you. I tried to warn you.
this is Tangy.
I'm gonna get back on the road and get up to Columbia.
Okay. Don't let them scare you off, Brennan.
No, I'm not scared, but I gotta get back on the road.
It's
Working
relationships and things like that. So, I'm pretty sure you've been in relationships and you're married and
Well, let me stick around for a few.
So, Brandon, let me ask you a question, bro. So it was this happened last week. I done talked to so many people and I haven't gotten no pushback. But I just want to ask you this. So when it comes down to bill paying in the home, everybody's got their certain level of comfort, right? So the question was, or I can say the scenario was, if one person pays the light bill, who controls the thermostat?
I control the thermostat no matter what.
Thank you, brother.
Oh, thank you. Shit.
Yeah, because he said he controls the thermostat no matter what. Even if the woman pays the bill, he controls it no matter what.
I've
never thought about who pays
exactly.
the bill.
Go and get on his tail. Oh, well, the woman got to be comfortable.
Yeah, but
Don't start that. Don't start
Teen,
it.
that's
don't
not
you
what
don't,
you
that is
said.
not
What I'm saying, no, I'm consistent on what I said.
Nah.
What I'm saying is, he said he controlled. What I'm saying is, ain't no way in hell in my house somebody that pays the electric bill is just going to be the only one to control the thermostat. That's crap.
Okay, wait a minute.
That's
Let me
crap.
go ahead. Let me
So, wait a
pull up
minute.
the damn clip from
I
last
know what
week.
I said. Pull up the damn clip.
Wait a minute.
Because I'm going to say
Yeah.
that. I'm not with that. Victor said, if I pay the bill, I control the thermostat. I don't agree with that. I agree. I believe in, first of all, I believe in this is a partnership. So it's no way that if I'm paying the bill and my wife or significant other says she's chilly, that she cannot raise the heat. I don't believe in that. And
no,
that's
no,
all,
yeah,
that's
she-
the bottom line.
Yeah, she can turn it up.
Damn right.
So now you uncomfortable.
No. I'm not gonna be
ahead,
uncomfortable in my own house.
Okay, so then you gonna turn it back down.
If I need to, we can have a conversation, but we can move to a different room if we need to, figure it out. But yeah, it has nothing to do who's paying the bill. It's just, sometimes I see my wife, she might be nice and want, I don't like spending money. So if you want to stay in my house, we're gonna have the AC is gonna be at that
76.
It's gonna be probably higher
maybe
than
75. So, in the wintertime, if you're trying to get up to 80 something, you got to go
No.
somewhere else. We gonna keep it at a nice
73.
temperature. See, I like that.
Yeah. See,
like
that's
that.
where I'm at, Victor.
keep-
In the wintertime it's 73. In the summertime it's 76.
Yeah, and that
that. My house
that
stay the
keeps
same temperature year round,
76.
something like that. It's year round. But that's what I can afford to do. So this is what my house is, and it's not for everybody. We had a guest in here last week said that her house at 66
No.
year round, but once again, that's her house. So I can't sit here.
Myself?
Yes.
Yeah, okay. Then.
So one thing I can't do is argue with somebody about what they do in their home, but I can only tell you what happens in my home. So when you come up in my home, you understand that if you want to play with this thermostat, you take accountability of that bill. Your comfort is your comfort. I'm cool with it. Just pay the cost to be the boss. That's it.
See, everybody in my house knows the bills. I got 2 boys.
Yeah.
Bills stay on the counter.
Yeah.
They know. And if I see lights on too long, that's a quarter.
That's a quarter.
Put it
That's
on
what I'm
the table.
talking about.
Somebody's got to. We paying this together. We in this together. So if my wife is hot one night, I'll drop it a degree.
A degree.
Maybe 2. It depends on how I feel.
Now we here. We here.
But
You got to have rules.
yeah,
Because without
Just
rules, there's
understanding.
chaos. There's chaos. I don't like surprises. So if somebody is sitting there doing this all day long, and then they come home and I got a $400 light bill, see now we got to have it's a problem. So that way, if I'm paying the bill, then that way if it stays right here, there's no surprises. No surprises.
What?
gotta have that ongoing communication though. Like my family knows, Daddy's gonna be mad if he sees a bill that goes beyond this point. And I know certain time of the year is gonna get higher and lower, So, but this is what I'm planning.
One conversation. That's all it takes.
That's it.
Yeah, anything outside of that is a mutiny. So all I'm saying is one conversation.
But that's what I said. It's conversation.
No, it's not a
That's
conversation. You know what the conversation is? Here. pay
No,
that.
the conversation,
That's the conversation.
is if I'm cold, I'm going to turn up the thermostat.
No, you put on a jacket or you put on some sweats or something. That's what you do.
Reason why I got quiet last week, I get quiet because I ain't been in no damn relationship like that. So I'm not going to address chaos, but like Victor said, I'm not in his house. But I have not been in a relationship like that, nor will I run a relationship like that or let somebody else run a relationship. So to me, that's chaos, and that's how you may run it, and that's cool. That's why I'm quiet, because I've never been in something like that. It's called communication, and we work it
So that's it,
together.
communication.
We worked it with the kids. Because they were kids, if my daughters were cold, we took that in consideration. This is not no damn dictatorship. So that's why I'm quiet, because that's not how you, for me, I don't deal with chaos and feel like I'm a dictator and run it. We in this together, and we communicate, and we try to be comfortable for everybody.
But you know what? I'm glad y'all let me stay. See, a big part of this though is if you can only spend your dollar one time. That's what I was talking to my boys about. So I'm spending the money on the electric bill because y'all were so lazy and forgot to turn your lights off, or you turned the AC down to 66 degrees.
That's crazy, ain't it?
That's crazy. And so now the bill's so high. Well, now we can't do something else.
Yeah.
We can't do whatever you want to do later
Yeah.
on because this extra money, it's not gonna come. I don't get a raise just because the bill got raised, and so this is all we got for this, which means you can't get these shoes, you can't get this whatever, you can't go to this movie, whatever
That's
you need.
facts.
And so I want to communicate that. And so when we had these conversations about the bills, you see it on the table. We spend it at one time. $1 gets spent one time, and they usually understand it. My wife and I, we joke about it. Everybody knows I'm cheap. I'm not gonna spend it if I don't need to, but I don't want to waste, and I want to make sure that they know that. So.
And I don't want to take away, I do want to say this to Victor, because, I always say sometimes we disagree on things, but I do understand what he's saying, the principle. I'm not going to throw it out the window. I do understand that. But just like you just said, we communicate with the bills. So if I notice something that I did is higher, then I'm going to contribute a little bit more. You understand? And if the wife has done that, sometimes she'll say, well, I got it this way, or it comes in another way. But that's how we work together. And that's, to me, because it's not 50-50 all the time. It's 60-40, 70-30 sometimes. But it works together as a unit. And that, to me, works for me. That's all I can say.
All right, so y'all married?
Hell no.
My wife passed.
Talking about y'all married.
Y'all share the bills when you were married, or did you pay them all, or she paid?
My wife was on. She had sickle cell disease, so she was on disability. So she did contribute, but it was very small because I brought more money home. But she wanted to contribute to the gas and the light bill or whatever. But if the light bill went up higher in the wintertime, then I kicked in.
Whatever.
Exactly. That's how we did it.
Okay. Okay.
So, bro, the simple answer is nah. I've been engaged. Never over. Huh? It's not complicated. Nah, it's not complicated. I've never fought over money in the house because there was always a fine line. It's like, this is where I stand. I feel like kind of like what you're talking about. This how our house ran. Right now, all my bills are on the table. My kids ain't gonna look at them because they don't. I mean, they don't care. But they do have an understanding that yes, if you come up in here and you break your phone, there's something down the line that you not going to get. I understand accidents happen, but you got to be careful when you're coming into that. And when we budget as a family, then you understand that sometimes you have to be uncomfortable to be comfortable down the line. So no, don't no. Hell no.
No, that is true. That is true. The point I was making that I did not like what you said was that if I'm paying the bills, you can't touch the thermostat. That's the part
That's
I
not
have a problem with.
okay.
Now,
But I also said that if you pay the bill, it's your thermostat, and I won't touch
But
it.
I'm not paying the bill.
See see now that's that mess that we go into in 2024.
But
That's
carry
that
on.
mess. So I mean, basically everybody wants to be the supervisor or something, but don't want to take accountability of what comes with that. So that's where we need to teach our children that if you touch something, there's consequences that come with that. You cut the light on and you leave the room, them Jordans gone. You don't get Jordans next week. Even though the lights ain't cost that much, but I have to let you know that your actions don't go without any consequences.
Is there a learning curve with that?
Yeah,
I don't know.
that's
You
pretty
tell
harsh,
me.
man.
I'm asking you.
No,
I'm telling you how you run your house. Is there when I say is there a learning curve with that? Is there a teaching moment? Because I do agree. Because my kids did the damn same thing. Leave the lights on, and they're not paying the damn bill. You understand? So, like Victor said, there are consequences to that. You understand? So that's what I'm saying. Is there a learning curve for them to understand this? Because now, after I told you this 3 times, now you're gonna feel it now. And when I say to feel it, not physically, but you're gonna feel it in some other way from something being pulled back or whatever. So Victor is making, I have to say it, and he may disagree, he's making more sense today because he's giving better examples of this, which I totally agree with.
It's not better examples. So when you
Give no examples last week, Hart.
I did. I gave the example.
Dictated.
The example was
You leave a light on, you don't get your Jordans.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
That's a jump.
That's crazy, man.
Hey,
all right.
I
so,
bet you don't leave the light on one time. Now.
So this is the thing. First, so that was basically me just using an analogy, but I don't buy Jordans.
I
So
gotta step my game up. I just take a quarter.
but basically, there's consequences. You touch the stove, you get burnt. Things like that. But one thing about only other than my baby, I don't repeat myself, and I don't have to because I established in my kids early on. You have to follow or obey somebody's rules. You either gonna follow my rules, or your mama rules, or the warden's rules, or the CO's rules, or the undertaker rules. But you're going to listen to somebody. So it's so much easier to just say, hey, daddy, don't worry about it. I'm gonna go ahead and wash these dishes. You'll get so much further with me by doing this stuff other than me asking you to. So a lot of times I don't have to even utter words to my children. They're just gonna go ahead and do it.
Folks are asking in the comments saying, new topic. They say, you reading this back to back to back? I'm trying to move on. New topic, please.
So
That was one person.
No, that's more than one.
Who's that? Who else?
Shanita Sanders say, so we staying on the thermostat. Where's the letter,
no, we're
email?
moving on from the thermostat.
Tank, all right, yeah.
We're moving
Nicole.
What do you mean we moving on? I ain't ready. I ain't ready because y'all was hot and we went over there and what we did? We turned the thermostat down. I can turn it back up now. Oh, okay.
Are you done?
No, I'm never done with that thermostat question. Never.
Oh my gosh. So, someone brought something to my attention. And you know how I do, and they say something to me, like they'll bring me, what do you think about this? Blah, 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 this happened. So I say, put it in an email letter and we can talk about it. So this is one of those ones where,
Some damn body complaining.
so we're going to get into that. It's short, sweet, to the point. So let's see what they're saying. So it says graduation day. My one and only son graduated from college the other day, and now my husband and I are not speaking because my son's father was there. Okay? It says, my ex and I have always had a great relationship after we split. Actually, it seems like we became closer friends since we went our separate ways. Of course, I was going to invite him to our son's graduation and the after party. My ex took pictures with his son, and I made sure that he took pictures with my husband along with our son, so it was both the dad and stepdad in the photo with our son. He came over to the house afterwards for the graduation party. My husband felt there should have been a line drawn from his father, which is her ex, coming over to their house. I asked why and said that made no sense because that's our son together and he had a right to be there. He said he felt like I was forcing my ex onto him. They never really got along, but I thought they would put their feelings aside due to the special occasion. Well, my ex was okay with everything, but my husband made a big deal over everything. Now I'm not exactly sure where this is going to lead our marriage after all of this. So, if you got it, the husband is upset because the ex, which is her son's father, was invited to graduation, and more so, he was invited to their house for the after party. And it seemed like the the husband felt like she was pushing the ex onto him because she wanted both of them in the picture with the son at the same time and all of this.
Well, you going, Vic, or we want me?
So I'm gonna tell you something. I don't understand why you inviting the ex to my house. I don't get that. You was way out of line for that one. Um, I think she's saying Lois said stepdad's insecure, but if I would have invited the mama to the house, then you would have had an issue. There are boundaries that have to be set when it comes to dealing with steps and whatever that comes with that. So um, moving forward, the man left the relationship or y'all split up for a reason. He was there for his son throughout his life. He was there for his child during graduation. We don't have to party together. We don't have to worship together, and we damn sure ain't living together. So no, nah, he. I feel like my man, the stepfather, is in the right when it comes to that.
So, first of all, there's a couple of things I agree and disagree with. I'm talking about with the letter. So, first of all, I'm not going to force, as the woman, to make my son take a picture with both of them in the picture. Bull crap. That's his father. He wants to take a picture with his father. This is a college. This ain't no kid. This ain't no 18-year-old, 17-year-old kid. This is a college graduate. So if he wants to take a picture with his father, let him make that decision. And if you want to take a picture with his stepdad, let them take a picture. I'm not going to force that on them because you're trying to equal balance. There is a line that is drawn in the sense of respect of your home. And just like the young lady, it was a young lady that said it, and I think it was Brittany. And Brittany Wheeler said the party should have been somewhere else. First of all, you discuss these things, communication. So if you don't want the person in your house, but you know that the father had a relationship with the child, and to me, that's very important. I've been in a situation. My first wife had a child, and I did not like that child's father, but I did not deny her taking that baby to him and in his home because that was the father. I had to trust this woman to do what had to be done. So what Victor says, a line is being drawn, then you talk about it. And if, in that case, then don't hold the party at the house. If you feel the husband feel disrespected by bringing the ex over and they didn't get along, then I do see what Victor's saying, but then hold the party elsewhere. But then if you throw back to me and say, well, we didn't have the money. So now you didn't have the money. Now there has to be some type of compromise here because that is that child's father. And that is his graduation party. And to me, you're going to have to work this out. So I stand by her because that is the child's father, and she didn't exclude the stepfather, nor did she exclude the father. Kudos to her. It was a hard decision, my sister. Unfortunately, somebody is mad, and I get it. But for me, you stood up for your child, and you stood up for both men to make sure that they were there.
Brandon, do you have a comment on this?
Yeah. Don't bring your ex to my house.
Thank you, brother. Yeah, we ain't doing that. Not
Now, if my child wants it, then he or she could come to me and we can talk about it, and then we can figure it out. Because I definitely don't want to ever deprive a child from their parent. Right. But
bro, you ain't coming
you
to my
don't have
house.
to be buddy. But my child says stepdaddy, I want my daddy to come over and I want y'all to be friends and we can
At least get along
communicate.
on my day.
If
This
the child
my
is
day.
if the child is driving that, then
This is my day.
I try to figure
This
that
ain't
out.
your
Yeah.
day. This is my day.
I mean, I can understand even taking a picture if the child wants it, but mama trying to force that.
Yeah, I don't like that. That's what I
So,
disagree with.
so, bro, I'm gonna tell you something. Speaking from experience, I tell you this: it ain't happening. It ain't happening. It's not at my home. Now, at a venue, that's different. But for you to sit here and tell me that you gonna bring another man into my home, that ain't about to happen. There's nobody gonna ever come in my home that's not approved by me and whoever live there. Because this is my home, my castle, my kingdom, mine. So you think you gonna come? Nah. So I mean, you're gonna have some women out there that's gonna sit here and say, well, but let a man would invite his ex girl or the mama to the house. You know what I'm saying? Let that would have happened, it would have been a completely different story. But because it's two men, and she, like Mr. Sammy said, she still got a soft spot for that man. Like you don't do things like that. This is certain things you just don't do. Socially, you just don't do.
Well, maybe you did say. I mean, I didn't hear you say some women, because I don't think all women will agree with that. Not all of us. And you do have some parents, some women, some men that are okay with the other stepmom or stepfather. Some families are best friends. They go on trips and stuff together. Like some people, they okay with this type of stuff.
They parent all together.
Yeah, they parent all together.
Alicia
Some people
Keys
got-
does it. Alicia Keys, her husband, and
Yeah,
her
but I'm
his
talking
ex,
about
they
real
do that.
life.
And some
I ain't
people
That is real life.
I'm not talking about celebrities. They do stuff. I'm
and some
talking
people
about
got six
like,
fingers. Some people got two heads.
I'm talking about like people like
I get what you're
like-
saying. Ordinary people.
Yeah.
John Lennon.
yeah,
John whatever his name is.
legend.
Yeah, but in
Same
this
thing.
situation, the stepfather wasn't too excited about it, and that's the problem.
In his own home.
Right.
That's the
the
problem.
issue. If he's okay with it, and I want to make sure it's okay for my child. I'm taking care of this child now. I want to make sure he's in a safe environment. But if I'm not happy with it, you can't just bring somebody
And as
over.
being a man, that's why I said, I'm not trying to change, but I have to be empathetic to both of y'all to understand where you're coming from, because there has to be, if my wife gives me pushback on this and the way she does it and it's disrespectful, I'm shutting every damn thing down. So I get that. But if I realize that this is for my stepson and this is communicated right, then we have to try to work this out the best way. Right. I've seen my mother did not care for my father's ex-wife. But when they had to deal with business, because when that woman came over, she sat in the car outside the house. But when they had to deal with business on my sister getting married, my wife invited that woman in the house, and my wife didn't care for her. There comes a time that you got to be the bigger person at the end of the day and allow your ego to be checked unless the other person is being disrespectful. Sometimes you got to rise above. And I just think for a day, I think that they could have rose above this. But again, if the husband felt disrespected, then they should have worked this out before the day of the party.
And I feel like this, it all depends on what kind of relationship we had before this graduation. Because if you're like, if say if I was in that situation and me and the biological mother been going back and forth way before this graduation, like when she see me, she never speak, or it's always some type of drama when it comes to her. Don't think you coming to my house now just because this child is graduating. No, I have a problem with that. You wasn't speaking to me before, like, but if it was like they was on good terms, and clearly they must not have been, but if they was on good terms, okay, I can see one day, it's graduation party. Yeah, you're welcome in the home. But like I said, if it was like
Who decision is that though? Yours?
no,
So
it's me and my husband's decision.
so he just
If
said
we-
no. He said no. She said yes, and she still
Did
invited
he
him.
say no? I didn't see that in the
I
letter.
didn't see that neither. I didn't hear that.
Let me go
Yeah,
back and read.
reread that.
But go ahead. Y'all want me to read the entire letter over?
No, I mean, find that part where Victor said, she said, no. Mr. Sammy, while you're looking for that, he says, remember, she said her and the ex have gotten closer since they parted. So I look at it, Mr. Sammy, I mean, we can look at this from the perspective, glass is half empty or glass is half full. Sometime when you're in a relationship with someone, and this is the ex, sometimes your relationship does get better. My relationship got better with my ex-wife as time went on. It did get better, but that didn't mean we were closer and, creeping and stuff like that. Sister Ingrid says, for the sake of the graduation, I say it's just a one-time thing. Just roll with it for the son's sake. And I hear what you're saying, Ingrid, but, it can't just roll with it if it's disrespect to the husband. It got to be a respect thing to the husband, and it got to be a mutual kind of understanding and communication there.
Yeah, it's
So-
all about communication.
Right. That's the thing. Like, I'm not going to invite my ex over to the house without talking to my husband about it. Like, that's just disrespectful.
Especially since you got closer as
Right.
y'all been getting
Yeah.
close. When you're
Like-
married, you're supposed to get close together with your spouse.
Right.
If you're going to get close at all.
You can have in a relationship,
closeness.
in the whole family, 5 yeses, 1 no. We ain't doing it. No is no, no, no. You got to understand that a no means no.
So you're saying that my voice don't matter?
I didn't see what did I
You
did I
just
put a
said
gender?
no, you just said
did
no
I put a
means no.
gender on
But
anything?
I'm talking about me.
I said
So,
5 years in a family. 5 yeses, 1 no. We're not doing it.
Somebody got to put, if there's a disagreement, and I know, I say I understand what Victor's saying, but there comes a time, because we asked this
I
question
don't think
before.
you do.
I do understand,
I
but
don't.
no, I understand what he's saying, but this is one of the situations where I've always said there's going to be a time where one is going to disagree and one is going to agree. Who puts their foot down and makes that decision? And I hear what Victor said from the man point of view, from that's my house, but that's her son. And for me,
That is not
if it-
what I'm saying. That
Okay,
is
well, for
definitely
me,
not what I'm saying.
for me, if I went through this, I know I would probably feel, if I was the ex, feel disrespected. But that's my wife's son, and that's his father, and I wouldn't have let it come to the point of being at my house if I didn't want this man at my house. I would have, let's do this at another venue, because the father did deserve to not only attend the graduation but attend the after party. Now that come on, I got to stand on principle on that, because I would feel a different way if my son was being, and I was told I couldn't come to. You understand what I'm saying? So
But Victor's saying 5 yeses and 1 no.
We ain't doing it.
Who is the 1 no coming from?
It don't matter who the 1 no coming from.
Yes, it does. Because if you're talking about, okay, if we're talking about
Watch
three
this.
three kids and the mom and the dad, the 3 kids, and say the mom is in agreement, but the dad is saying no.
It don't matter. The child can say no too. We ain't doing it.
Who is that to determine that though?
What
Who is that to determine? Are you saying everybody needs to be in agreement to move on?
Yeah.
Everybody needs.
That's how you move as a unit. That's
but-
how you move. Wait a minute. That's how you move as a unit. So I've taught my kids unity. Y'all have to be on the same page in order to be successful as a family. So guess what? When we all, hey y'all, what y'all want to eat? Because I ain't going but one place. So if y'all don't agree, guess what we do? We don't go nowhere.
So wait a minute. That's
somebody
not
gotta
unity. That's not unity.
minute, that's-
Wait a minute. You telling me 4 people or 3 people and just one person say no, but we're gonna move as unit because one person say no,
Look
but
what
the
unity
majority says yes.
Look, that's not unity. Look what unity means. That
Unity.
means- look up what the
Unity,
definition-
unity means coming together
As
to-
what?
to move as one.
Yes.
That's what unity
That's
means.
exactly what
so
unity
if it's
means.
3 against 1, why does the no have the most say out of the majority?
Because we're not moving as a unit. That's not unity.
But why does it have to move?
but you gotta have
wait,
some
wait,
level
wait,
of
wait.
leadership.
Well, why does it have to
Right.
move
Oh,
as the no?
But guess what the leader said? The leader said we ain't doing it.
And,
That's leadership.
and you know what? And my wife wouldn't take that. If I was that person, she gonna move on it. And
okay.
then,
And then she should move. Move on.
yeah, then move on because that's why I say I'm not gonna say it's not realistic, but I've said this before, and again, that's Victor way. So I don't want to personally, but let me step outside of Victor. That's bullshit. And I think that when you working as you talking about unity, I think that we come together and say, you know what? If we're gonna vote on this and do this in a mature manner, and let's vote on it, then let's vote on it, and everybody has a say on it. And at the end of the day, if it's not equal, the majority wins.
Oh, that's your house. And that's bullshit. So when it
That's
comes
fine.
down to leadership,
That's
when
fine.
it comes down to leadership, somebody's gonna make the decision. And I have 4 kids. You know, I got a small baby. But my other 3, when I put out the question, hey, where y'all want to eat at? All right. I'm not gonna say, oh, they gonna come to an agreement.
You saying this for every decision you make?
No. When
That's
I offer
what
the
it started
decision,
out. If you got 4 yeses,
you got
and 1
4
no,
yeses and a no. Yeah. So if I
but
got
even on a big decision, somebody's
On a
got to
big
lead.
decision,
Somebody
yeah,
got to
I'ma
be in charge.
lead.
Somebody's got to
Hey,
leave.
somebody is going to lead, but understand that I started at an early age. Y'all got to stick together. Hey, where y'all want to go for this summer? Oh, I want to go to Six Flags. Okay, we only go in one place. Y'all need to make a decision. I give you till tomorrow. If they can't come up with a decision, guess where we going? We gonna stay home. Enough of that. I guarantee you, them 3, they'll get the okay. They'll work it out. It works. If you trust your children to come together, it will work. That will bring them together. When it come down to the chores, I put a list up. Hey, these chores better be done by the time I get to work. I don't care how they get done. I don't care if one of them did them all. But if y'all cool with that, don't tell me, well, Adriana went down there and swept, mop, washed the dishes, whoop, de whoop, de whoop. I just know between the 3 of y'all, everything got done. It don't matter how it got done. That's how I govern this. So 1 no, we ain't doing it.
Yeah, but your situation is a little bit different.
Yeah, I mean,
Your-
I'm not
your
gonna sit here and say, well, I want to go out there and get me an Escalade. What y'all think? Nah, we ain't doing that.
Nah, but even going back to the letter, the situation is different. It's just completely different. So 4 yeses and 1 no. If everybody in the house says yes, we want this man to come over,
Yeah,
and you say no,
yeah.
well, everybody in the house needs to come talk to you about it. Let's figure out what's going on.
So the man of the house, he's saying no.
Well, see, we just said it before. It's not about gender.
Okay.
Right.
So if it's about gender,
Well, we
I can hit it a different way.
So we talking about the letter now. If we talking about the letter, we talking about the man.
We
saying
talking about the part of the discussion that went off from the letter.
Yeah.
With the 4 yeses and no, and how we got to you getting the Escalade. So, but if somebody's got to trust somebody to lead, and if you're the man in the house, and if it is about gender, the man in the house is the one who's going to lead it. If some houses want the woman, somebody's got to be the leader,
Facts.
and they're going to trust whoever it is. And so 4 yeses and 1 no. Well, sometimes everybody gets overridden and say, the 1 no says that's it because I'm the leader, but not because we all just moving together as a unit.
Yeah,
You
I
said
mean
you was in the
that works.
military, even in the military. Everybody may not agree with every order.
Oh,
You gotta
now
follow it.
So let me tell you how it works in the military. One person is going to destroy that whole unit. I'm telling you, we can all go out there for a PT session. Let that one person not make it in time. Everybody's getting punished. That's exactly what happens in the military.
talking
Relationship
they
ain't no
agree with.
a relationship ain't no
They agree with.
goddamn military.
So he ain't talking
yeah,
about no
it's-
relationship in the military. He used it as a metaphor, and I
But
was
you can't
letting
use
know-
it as a metaphor if it's an example
No.
of a relationship.
No,
you
but
cannot do
When
that.
you're saying about everybody's got to move as a unit, so in the military, you're moving as a unit.
As a unit.
Even if everybody don't agree with what they're doing,
They still moving as a
still
unit.
moving as a unit.
That's true.
So if the no's say no,
Oh, you don't get a no.
you get a no. You just better not say it out loud.
Don't get a no.
So at your house, if you got 3 yeses and a no, the no may not want it. You don't stop everything because of the no. everybody's gonna move with whoever the leader says
So let me ask you this. So, bro, have you ever done something that you really didn't want to do?
all the time.
All right. But you still make it seem like you wanted to do it. That's what a yes is. If I see all three of y'all want to do something, why in the hell would I say no? Knowing that I could prevent y'all from having fun. I'm going to just go along with it. I don't have to always voice my no. You think I want to do all these things and be all these places at a time? I don't. But I do these things to make other people happy. That's why I say 4 yeses, 1 no, that 1 no can stop. Don't be selfish. If these 4 people want to do something, just fucking do it. It won't hurt you to do that. But that letter there, nah, we ain't doing that. Not at my house. We ain't doing that.
So it goes back. It says he came over to the house afterwards for the graduation party. My husband felt there should have been a line drawn from his father, which is her ex, coming over to the house. I asked why, and he said that made no sense because I asked why and said that made no sense because that's our son together and he had a right to be there. He said he felt like I was forcing my ex onto him.
So he didn't even know.
Pretty much.
Wow.
So that's
That's disrespectful.
Who didn't know?
nah, but he should have.
Who didn't know? Wait. Victor said something.
It
So
felt
you're
he-
saying the ex didn't, not the ex, the husband didn't know the ex was coming over?
He couldn't have.
If it did, that's what you're saying?
That's what it sounds like.
Then that's
to me.
disrespect. That's totally disrespect. And then now the husband has that right to have his ass on his shoulder because you don't do that to the man of the house and your husband because if you invited him over, you took that without being respectful to your husband. That is disrespect.
Well,
Oh, yeah, I got quiet. But that's where I said I understand what Victor was saying on some of this thing. This was not a total a disagreement with some of the things he was saying because there is a line to be drawn. And if I felt disrespected, like Victor said, I see Victor would shut that down, and I would have shut that down if I wasn't communicated on that. No, I'm shutting that down. But if there was a conversation beforehand, I would have looked out for my son. I would have
shut it down a different way. I'd have went to old boy, and I would have told him that what you doing? What you got going on? Thank you. I would have went to old boy. I told him, I'm like, listen, you the man of the house now, bro. And I'd have had me a little suitcase or whatever. I'd have made a dramatic exit, but I'd have damn sure made her feel fucked up when it be me leaving. Cause ain't no way you gonna invite a man like y'all seen each other naked, and you got this man in my house, and I didn't even know he was showing
she
up.
said she did tell him
I don't believe that, cause she wouldn't have wrote that letter like that.
because
I don't believe that. She can say what she want to say. I'm telling you, I don't believe that. Because I wouldn't even if
how soon before he got there did she tell him?
yeah,
He on the way.
he in the driveway. I mean, I
I
get
definitely feel like she. Go ahead.
no, go ahead.
I was going to say I definitely feel like she should have had that conversation beforehand. Before, like when stuff was being planned, when they was, talking about what they was going to have to eat, what was going to be served at the party, all this stuff, this man should have known that her ex, which is her son's father, was coming over to the house.
What he need to be there for? What is the point of him being there?
Because that's his son.
But he was there for graduation. Why we got the party together?
Just some people.
Please let me.
Some people roll like that, Victor. Everybody doesn't think like we think. And some people don't. Somebody in the comments said that when her mother and father used to come home, they used to come and stay with her. What, her now mom? No. How did she say that thing? I think that was Lois said something about. I grew up where my mom's family and my dad's family were one big family.
Yeah, my father,
That,
my mother.
that has nothing to do with exes.
That's she talking about her ex, where her mother and her father would come and stay with her stepmom and her dad. I think that's what she said.
That ain't what I read, but okay.
Sometimes people have relationships like that, and that's fine.
Yeah,
That-
like
that's
if
fine.
you
If
can
it
cope
works
with
for you,
that,
Praise for you.
Well,
But that sounded like disrespect. She
That
didn't
is
tell him.
very
Now, he
disrespectful.
could have just as well said, "Hey, I know he got a daddy. What's the plan?" But it's her responsibility to initiate that conversation.
so it's interesting. This is a little different, but so that's why I kept saying because I don't want to seem like I'm changing. So there was a party, and I'm with my new wife, but and this is the party is given by my cousins. So, but the party is given by the cousins, but it's for their mother's birthday and my birthday. Their mother's birthday is the day after mine, so we celebrated our birthdays together. So I'm bringing my wife, which was my girlfriend at the time, and then my cousins had a relationship with my ex-wife. They invited her. I got upset and said, "Why would y'all do that?" To me, I thought that was disrespectful. My cousin put her foot down, and this is what she said, like Victor said, "This is my house. You don't have to come." Now, to me, I thought blood was thicker than water because your relationship is cool with her. I'm blood, this, that, and the other. You know what my wife said? I mean, my girlfriend at the time? She was like, "Nah, I'm cool. Let's let's go." And we roll. And and we had a good time. And that see what my girlfriend that became my second wife, she put in and said, "You know what? I'm fine with it. I'm cool. I'm cool." Because it's not like you inviting her. They have a relationship with her. She was there before me. I can't take away from that relationship from them at the end of the day, long as that woman doesn't disrespect me. And she didn't.
Right.
She did not disrespect. Majority of the time she stayed in the back room with some family members. We were up front. And that's how it worked. So there was still a respect ground from them two, but Hanifa took the bigger page and said, "You know what? Let's go. It's your birthday. You always celebrated with your aunt. Don't become a sourpuss, and let's go." And we had a good time and moved on from there. So that's it. So sometimes it works, sometimes it don't.
Sometimes it works, sometimes it don't. So two things I'm gonna get to. One, the young lady that wrote the letter, she said she did tell her husband once her ex got back with her and said that he would come over, which was 2 weeks before the party.
Hicks got back with her.
Yeah, she asked the ex would he come over to the house for the party. So after he got back with her, she let the husband know.
She
So that
should've-
conversation should have been with the husband.
Husband first.
Or the ex.
That's right. That should have been with the husband first. Hey, how do you feel? Because I would like to invite so and so. Don't go there because you now giving credence
tell me who
and
you bringing to
respect.
my
Yeah,
house.
exactly.
You know
You
just
giving
ask.
credence and you giving respect, more respect to the ex than the husband. No, she's wrong on that.
Well, wait a minute now. What if she feel comfortable with it? I mean, she can control the thermostat. She should be able to control who in the hell come in and out the house at any time.
But the bottom
No.
line is he's upset, and he can't control him being upset. So we're dealing with him being upset. We're dealing with the letter now. So she says she don't know how this is going to affect moving forward. But unfortunately, sis, these are the repercussions to your action. Reaction to your action. So your action, you did what you had to do. Now he's feeling this way. This is the reaction, and his reaction may not be as rational as you may think it should be, but this is how he feels.
So going back to Lois Parker, she said, when my dad and my stepmom visited from Jersey, they stayed in my mom's house with her husband. So that's just going back. 'Cause
When my dad say that again.
when my dad and stepmom visited from Jersey, they stayed in my mom's house with her husband.
What? Boy, that's some freaky shit, thing, boy.
So
Hey,
that's why I said
Nah, but if they're
Different.
friends, if it's okay, they're cool.
that's
We
what
They
I'm
used-
both are
saying.
married. They, moved on.
But you can
some-
stay in my crib. Hey, like I said, at
If that's their
whatever works,
relationship,
whatever works. I just know I ain't doing no mess like that.
I probably wouldn't either. But I can
Yeah.
understand somebody else.
I gotta get Victor Bell on that one because see that's him. I'm not gonna do that, but I'll.
It is what it is.
I mean, he don't have no choice but to do that. His household is his household. You
Lois,
can't
I know they
control-
wasn't in the same room.
You can't control what happens in someone else's house.
No, I
Whatever
can't.
makes y'all happy. Like some people roll like that. Like some exes come so close after you become apart from one
I
another
said that. Yeah.
that you can have that type of relationship. I don't think I would be that ex. I don't think I could ever be that close where I can have my ex come stay in the
Doesn't it
house.
depend on the breakup? Can it depend on the type of breakup?
I
Will
mean, even
determine
if
that?
we have a
Because some exes is not. It hasn't been such a fallout drag out. Some people just say, you know what, we kind of outgrown each other and we moving on. It sometimes it's not traumatic. It's not where somebody, because a lot of times we think of exes, we think of somebody cheated or this, that, and other, and it's not always cheating that people tend to move on. They realize that we're not compatible. And since we're not compatible and we lost the intimacy part and the love, it's best that we separate. But then as time go on, you still remain in friends because you respect one another. It's not there's not an anger there.
I want to just take that toothpick and just yank it out your mouth. You get on my nerves
But I'm just
with
saying,
that
every relationship
toothpick.
is not such a negative relationship. We keep thinking an ex and a
I
breakup
know
is
what you're
always,
saying.
is always
It's
negative.
not always negative. Like some people break up on good terms. They just grew apart from one another and they become closer after they.
I don't know what breaking up on good terms mean. Maybe I ain't never had one of them, but yeah,
I,
because once we break up, it's damn you forever. That is what it is. I mean, I don't wish nothing bad on you, and we can still speak, but anything deeper than that, nah, we
You ain't gonna hold the door for her. I know that.
no hell no. Me and my kids, mom, we in a real we're in a better place than we was when we broke up. I can say that, but we're not in a better place than where we was when we were together. I mean, that's different. We're not friends. We're parents. So our conversations are not on no, hey, how you doing today? It's, hey, let me let you know what's going on with my child. I don't care what kind of day you having. What I'm calling you about is my child. So for us to turn into friends and we exes, that makes no sense to me. Because we shouldn't even be talking like that anyway. That's totally inappropriate. If Tina called me right now and say, Vic, I stubbed my toe. Well, how my kids doing? Did they stub their toe? No. Then I'm hanging up the phone. Because I think we want to be such good friends with this ex over here. That makes no sense. We are exes for a reason. We are coming together to raise these kids. I don't care what your day was. I don't care what you got going on. Tell me about my children. Keep it that right here, and we ain't got to worry about nothing.
even if she's single.
I don't give a shit if what she is. She could be in a polynormous relationship. Just raise my children to the standards that we both agree upon. Then we can move forward. What you got going in your personal life, that don't bother me none, because it doesn't matter.
Mm. Okay.
Wait, you're not getting off the hook. Before I call him King Arthur, I want to see if I'm gonna lump you as King Arthur too. What is your opinion about that?
I wouldn't keep them in my house.
No.
Oh,
Your opinion about if it's an ex communication, because I remember, I had communication with my ex on certain things. We didn't have kids together, but there was communication. What I did is I kept that with my wife. Oh, I spoke to her about this. If you understand what I'm saying? So I kept it because I remember, and again, I know a death is a little different, but I remember when her, because she would call me because her sister was sick, and I would when I got a call, I made sure, oh, so and so called me. I don't want it. Oh, by the way, 2 weeks later, oh, so and so sister's sick. Oh, how did you find out? Oh, I spoke with her 2 weeks ago. No, I kept it open, and that's where I did. So my question is, can there be communication with an
it
ex?
can be. For me, I don't do that. I mean, I don't have the communication with an ex. I would see it as disrespectful to my wife.
Mm-hmm.
Now, if we had children together and we had some communication, that'd be different. And it might even be, how you doing. I might want to know how you're doing because how you're doing impacts how you raise my children. If your foot's hurting, then who's gonna walk over there and do whatever needs to be done? So I need to know something about how you're doing and what's going on in your house. I don't want to be all your business, but I want to know something. So, but I wouldn't invite you and your new husband to stay in my house. But
How about tea and crumpets?
I could be cordial. We can come, have a snack if our relationship is that way. But just a regular side conversation with my ex, that's
Ridiculous.
Would it
appropriate.
would it change a little bit if you were single, and she was single? Would it be a little different? Because, like you said, I'm not
we
going
were
to
single, it
disrespect
wouldn't
my
matter.
wife.
Yeah.
Right. So it didn't
No,
matter.
I mean, if we were single, and actually, I've had conversations with an ex about just like her mother. Her mother was sick.
Okay. Yeah.
I heard about your mom. How's your mom?
Yeah.
Because
Makes
I ain't had no problem with her mom. With her mama, we were friends,
Right.
and so it was good to hear that her mom was okay.
Good.
But oh yeah, you all right? Good. That was it.
There you
But
go. I like that. That's cool.
Still respectful, and I even talked to my wife about it.
Yeah. That's cool.
Mhm.
That's cool.
Well, at least you had the respect to talk to your wife about it. Some people will carry on conversations and conversations and conversations, but of course, they're not going to tell their significant other that they're having conversations with other women
So let me.
or other men.
You right. So I'll tell you something about me. I'll tell you this. This is real talk. One thing with all these big head bird women in these comment section love coming for me. But one thing you will know is where I stand at. So when you send me out in town, you gonna already know ain't no woman gonna say nothing to me because I won't allow that to happen. So that's where that level of what kind of guy you want in your life. Do you want this guy right here that's frigid, but you know he ain't doing nothing? Or you want somebody that's going to be all nimbly bimbly with every woman he see?
Mm.
So, I mean, you pick your poison.
I want someone that I'm going to be able to touch the thermostat when I want to touch the thermostat.
Oh,
Yeah, you could touch the Did I once say you could not touch the thermostat? You just need to pay the bill. See, that's the problem. Why can't women pay for a responsibility?
Oh, we can and we do.
Okay, so then you can touch the
But
thermostat.
I'm saying 9 times out of 10, the man is paying the electrical bill.
No, I've never paid the electric bill.
Oh, well, in your house.
Yeah.
So
Why can't
but my whole thing is
what women pay? Just tell me what kind of bills they pay.
the water bill.
They $50 a month.
Grocery bill.
Are you serious?
But seriously though, like if
See
I
that shit? See the shit? What I think?
that's where they do that at.
Yeah. So now we got 8 out of 10. Anything else?
uh,
That motherfucker said the water bill. Well, you know what?
Seriously,
Your water bill gonna be $10,000 fucking with me.
if I'm in someone's
Even though but I gotta give Victor a damn
I'm
dollar. Even though it's not, I'm not.
if I'm cold, I will get a blanket or something to wrap up.
I ain't
Like,
gonna be
wouldn't
cold in
just-
my house. I ain't
I'm
be
not
cold
gonna
in my
just
house.
turn the thermostat.
My
up
feet
to
get
8
cold. I'm
degrees.
turning the thermostat up. My feet ain't being cold. Nope. My feet ain't being cold.
All them socks out there.
Nah, I don't
Right.
wear socks in the house.
I
I'm wearing
tell
no
you,
socks in the house. Man.
you try to freeze me out that house. Oh, I'm cold. Well, we gon'
I'm
be
gonna
like
be warm.
2 sticks. And I'm gonna rub your rump together until you be like, you listen. Let me turn this up to get this man off of me.
There you
That's
go,
exactly what's about to
That's
happen.
right. Because
You
I'm
gonna
not
have some
being
body
cold.
heat up in
Ain't gonna
here.
be cold in my house.
Sweat them damn braids out your doggone head. You'll quickly turn the doggone heat up.
That's right.
I might. That sounds good. I might keep the
You tripping.
rub up against me, honey. All right. Well,
You got your mans over here.
He gave you that. Okay. Rub upside me, honey. Okay.
but Brandon, this is what we do.
So this is good.
the
This
Tangy
is still
Tuesday.
mild, brother.
Yeah,
This
this
is
is
still
good.
mild. Me and Victor
you did
sometimes
like-
go, boy.
For those of you who joined us late, we did start off the show by talking to Mr. Brennan about foster care. May is National Foster Care Month, and we did for an hour talk about foster care and how you could become foster care parents, and the things that take place inside of becoming a foster care parent, and things that take place at the facility.
Growing Home Southeast.
Growing Home Southeast. So if you would like more information on becoming a foster parent, you can contact Mr. Brent. Can you give them more information?
Yeah, Growing Home Southeast. You can go to growinghomese.org, or you can call 803-791-5513.
I just want to add, as Veronica said, this is Foster Care Awareness Month, and not only dealing with foster parents, but just the whole structure so people understand it, which I have in front of me is the family members, volunteers, mentors, policymakers. It's a whole, I say, army of folks coming together, working honestly, trying to work as one for helping these children and helping these foster care parents as well.
Yeah, absolutely.
Also, I want to give a personal shout out to Miss Destiny. I had the privilege of going to her daughter's graduation. So I went to a few graduations this last week, and I will say Destiny's daughter is the only person that I saw that was a dual graduate. She graduated from high school and college she got an associate's degree from Tech at the same time. So I went to West Florence graduation, I went to Wilson's graduation, and they didn't have any kids that did that. I don't know if that's a Darlington thing. I don't know much about it.
Darlington is big on that.
Well, that is
Shouts out to them.
yeah. So she has also got she saved her parents 2 years by getting high school, and that's dope. I forgot what she.
I got it. Congratulations to Destiny's Child.
Yeah,
because
that we knew
group-
that
we didn't know nothing about this party,
Nothing about
but
this
it's
party.
still, but it's about the child.
Hey,
So
who?
congratulations!
So
wait,
Yeah, let's
congratulations!
talk
Ain't
about-
no way in hell we ain't
talk
gonna
about
mention
that.
that. Ain't no way in hell we
talk
gonna
about
sit
that.
here
Ain't
and
gonna-
not bring that crap
Exactly.
up.
Ain't gonna
We
take
wasn't
a picture
invited,
and
and
put
then
it
somebody
on.
gonna put in there the Tangy Tea
Exactly.
family of
Like,
life
we
was
knew
invited.
we knew
wide.
about
Take
it.
that down.
Go wide.
Take that
So
down.
you know
Take
what?
that
Let's not even
down.
talk about that party.
Take that damn thing down.
Can we go wide?
But anyway, congratulations to Destiny's Child because that is such achievement. My daughter was part of a program like that in New York.
Yes.
Yeah, so congratulations. But Destiny, you in my doghouse. I'm sorry.
No, not Destiny. Destiny's not in the doghouse because
Doghouse.
you know who's
I didn't get an invite from Destiny.
I didn't. No, Destiny said that she put it on social media
I didn't see
where
it.
anybody could have came.
I didn't see it.
I blame two people for not telling us.
Go ahead. Go ahead. Get 'em.
Two people that was in the photo that did not tell neither one of us, and y'all know the two people I'm talking about.
Ring the bell
I
till we
blame
go
both
off.
of us.
Damn right. You think we was gonna come
Because-
on here and not say nothing tonight? Oh, that's a bunch of crap.
Yeah.
What y'all did to
because
us. But that's
they-
cool.
Wait a minute. They on the picture smiling and cheesing and didn't tell for 10. And you know exactly what I'm talking about.
There you go.
One sitting beside me
There you
and the
go.
other one in the comments.
There you go.
Yeah, I'm coming for both of y'all.
Hey,
I'm coming. I'm right with
a minute.
Veronica.
Wait a
In the
minute.
picture
Damn right.
cheesing
Can
and
I
talk
say the
about
Tangy
Tangy
Tea
Tea.
and-
No, Tangy Tea
He
didn't
wasn't
know about
invited.
the party.
No.
Hold on. So what you trying to say? What you mean?
Y'all was dead wrong.
Dead wrong. Not
I'm
letting us
looking in the
know.
camera.
Damn
I'm
right.
talking to the
Damn
person
right.
In the comments, yeah, you was dead wrong.
Hold on,
Damn
Veronica.
right.
I need you to do me a
I'm-
favor. I need you to do me a favor. What was the last
Okay.
text message that I sent you?
Oh, you want to go there?
Yeah, let's go there.
Let's go.
Let's go. What was the last
I'm
text
going to
message
say
I
it
sent?
clearly. Excuse me, Brandon.
Excuse us for a minute, brother.
Excuse
This is a family
Excuse
business
us
here.
for a moment. So,
A family business.
and
we
we
gotta
getting
take
out of
care
here. So Victor texted me Friday afternoon, probably about 2:30ish,
Right.
I would say.
I didn't get a text.
So he said, "Hey, what you doing later?"
Uh-huh.
So I said, I will be getting into bed early tonight because I have the mud run that I have to get up early for
Right.
Saturday morning. So I text him back. I said, "Wow, what's going on tonight?" You know what he said? He texted back and said, "Nothing."
Let me go
And
look.
then I get on the Tangy Tea page for whatever reason I got on. Yeah, because Tangy Tea was tagged. So
Yeah,
I
it's
get on here.
in blue
wait a
letters
minute.
highlighted.
So I get on it to see what Tangy Tea was tagged about. And here's a big photo saying they at Destiny's daughter. No, the Tangy Tea supporting Destiny's daughter at
So we wasn't-
graduation.
No. We didn't know
Part
about
of
it. We
Tangy-
didn't even get
You
an
was
invite.
there. Teen and I was not
No,
there.
and didn't even know.
And didn't know
about
one
it.
thing about
Wait
the
a
party.
minute. Hold up.
And I would
Hold up.
definitely
So,
support Destiny's.
I got a problem with both of y'all at this point.
Wait a minute,
because
wait a minute.
Neither one of y'all said anything to
Can I-
us about Destiny's party.
Y'all didn't get one of these?
No, hell
If
no,
we-
hell no.
If we got
Hell
one of
no.
those, we would have known about it.
Hell no.
And I know for a fact, my girl, my sis, Destiny would have not done that.
That's crazy.
So let's be
Y'all
clear
ain't get one
about
of
that.
these?
She would have never.
That's crazy.
But she said that she put it out there on social media.
I didn't get
and
that.
she
I didn't see that.
apologized because she said she thought I seen that.
But you didn't get the.
See,
Y'all didn't get that. So y'all mean to tell me? I mean,
Yeah, you.
Y'all mean to tell me Vic getting in invites? That's what I'm talking about. Hey,
Don't flatter yourself.
hey, listen.
Yeah, please don't.
Listen, I'm just saying. Let me show y'all something.
Close it
And
down.
then-
Close it down,
And
Veronica.
on
Close
the,
it
on
down.
The photo cheesing like
close it.
they doing something.
Let's go. Let's get out of here.
Yeah, you're not doing nothing.
Yeah,
because
let's get out of
you're
here. Let's close this down.
Like, don't
So
even
we shut this
act
damn thing
like,
down.
Oh man, listen,
oh, please.
Veronica, listen.
I didn't even tell my own family about me speaking at church because it was a church thing. Like, I figured my mom was going to tell people about me speaking at church.
I showed up, ain't it?
You did show up.
And
But I'm talking about Christine's comment.
What she say?
But anywho, let's get out of
Yeah,
here.
She say-
we getting out of here. We getting out of here. So
Getting
before
out of
people
here.
guess
feelings
what?
get
Whatever.
hurt,
Whatever.
before
Alright,
people's
so-
feelings
No.
get hurt. So let's go. Let's close
Yeah.
it down.
Like, for real.
Listen,
Let's go.
Veronica, I want you to know something. They had steak.
That's
They had
good to
pasta
know.
salad. They had
I
ribs.
mean, it ain't even about the food. It's about you text me and ask what was I doing and they're going to talk about nothing. Like, you knew you was going to the party.
I didn't know.
And you didn't say anything
You
about
said you had the mud run.
Yeah, but and then you should have said, well, you know, Destiny's daughter
I knew
party
you
is
knew before I knew.
tonight. I mean, y'all could be funny in the comments if you want, but all I'm saying is
Close it down. Let's go. Let's go. I got something to do.
You're dead wrong, and it's not
I got
funny.
something to do.
You know this ain't nothing but love. I figured you was
This ain't
going.
nothing but
How
love.
would you
No,
do
you
that
ain't gonna
when you-
water. You ain't gonna sugarcoat this crap.
How would you?
You ain't gonna
figure I was
sugarcoat this
wrong when
crap.
You asked me what was I doing at night, and
And you
I
said-
asked you what was going on, and you said nothing.
Nothing.
Yeah, okay. That's nothing was going on. Then why tag?
I wanted-
Why ask me?
Then
Why ask me what I was doing?
And then tag it the Tangy to your life.
Right,
Was
like
that-
we knew.
Man, please. Let's go. Let's
Sorry.
close this out of here.
I'm gonna tell you something.
Thank our guest
Hey,
here, Brother
hey.
Brennan, for being
Thank
here.
y'all so much.
For
Hey,
joining
I
us.
don't even know why we having this conversation
Hey,
live.
Brennan, guess what? Hey,
Well,
Brennan.
I brought it up.
Some people take subliminal shots one way. Some people take them another.
He was just trying to get y'all to move as a unit.
Well, if we
Yeah.
would have moved as a unit, we would have been at the party.
Yeah,
We would have been at the party, but we wasn't considered part of the damn unit.
Yes,
Okay?
and a no right
Yeah,
there.
you understand what I'm saying? We wasn't considered. Hell.
I know you would have, John. Thank
Mm-hmm.
you. I know you would have, but I didn't like made it known to
Let's go.
everybody.
I'm ready to go.
Anywho,
I got it. Yeah. Let me deal with some people that I like. Let's go.
thank you so much for watching Tangy Tea of Life. It's okay, cause
Don't do don't do that, cause I know what you. I know.
Oh, it's coming.
Hey,
Oh, it's
hey,
coming.
stop.
Oh, it's coming.
Stop, man.
Oh, it's coming.
Stop. Chill out.
it's okay. Y'all had y'all little fun, but
Yeah,
it's okay.
Just,
They thought it was cute, but it wasn't
it's
cute.
coming.
Chill out. Chill out.
We got you.
I
Nah, it's cool.
apologize.
We cool. We
I
got it.
apologize.
Anyhow,
We got it.
thank y'all so much for watching Tangy
Thank
Tea
you,
of
y'all.
Life.
That's right.
We appreciate y'all every
I apologize.
Tuesday.
Boomerang effect in effect.
I apologize, Veronica.
Yeah.
I apologize. I apologize.
You get an apology.
Have a
I
great-
don't get an
Brandon.
apology. Okay.
Wait a minute.
So much for
Thank you, brother. Yeah, shake-
coming.
yeah, thank you, brother.
We appreciate you
Yes,
for
sir.
everything that you do for foster care.
sir.
The CEO of, please tell us the company again,
Growing Home Southeast.
Growing Home Southeast. Please reach out if you're thinking about becoming a foster care parent. And on that note, guys, thank y'all so much. We appreciate y'all each and every night for watching Tangy Tea of Life. This is where we talk about in and everything. As you can see, we had a whole discussion that should have been taking place off the air. But until next time,
I apologize.
see y'all then.
Say good night.
Good night.
Buenas noches.
Get away from me.
Cut that camera.
Oh shit! I ain't do it. Bonus noches.